Tonight we've got people stealing heads. We've got the secret to immortality, and what else do we have? And we have. I should have looked at this. And we have whether or not you'd bring back Lennon or Steve Jobs. Is it technology or art or what do you want? I am Destiny Dado. This is a super important show. I am one of your hosts, but I am not your only host. There are two other amazing hosts, and I would like to introduce you to them. First up, let's introduce you to the wonderful Heather Jules Booth. Heather, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Doing well. Another day.
And we have our guest tonight, Maggie Metnick. Maggie, how are you?
Hi. I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Tell people about you. Tell people who you are. What are you doing? What's your deal?
What's my deal?
What's your deal?
I'm a actor, writer, comedian, human. I'm multi-hyphenate. And right now I'm working on a drag king news satire show that is coming up, going back live at Caveat on the 23rd. It's called Man Up. It's really fun.
Wow.
Nice.
Gotta come see that.
Nice.
That sounds awesome.
You guys want to get into it? You want to get right into this show? You want to get into our first segment, which,
of course,
as we all know, is World You Crazy.
Oh, World You Crazy.
World You Crazy.
Yep.
Heather,
all right, everyone.
Heather, how is the world crazy today?
Oh my gosh, the world is crazy because have you rented a car from Hertz? You better check because there might be a warrant out for your arrest. That's right. Everyone's favorite, not favorite car rental, but like definitely one you think of when you think of car rentals.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, I can't even think of like budget. Anyway, Hertz, hundreds of people are suing Hertz over false arrests in regards to rental cars. There's a lawsuit. And Hertz reportedly acknowledged that it files 3,365 police reports about stolen cars on average every year. 3,000.
Christmas.
But so the article says, for context, that means more than 23,000 of the car's rental firm's customers have had theft charges levied against them over the past several years. So a total of 230 customers are now suing Hertz for false arrest, and some claiming false prosecution. There was a woman, the story wants you to understand, a grandmother was pulled over in January 2021 for allegedly stealing a car. She had returned the car 5 years prior to this arrest, and obviously the charges were dismissed. There are tons of warrants out for arrest. It says that one of the lawyers says 230 is not the majority. It's simply the tip of the iceberg.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Because Hertz couldn't find the car. So we have another person, Dustin, named after you, Dustin, a person who lives in Tennessee who had 2 tire problems, and he rented a car so that he could get around. The second time he went to a local Hertz location, and he sat there for 2 hours with his 9-year-old son waiting, like, why is it taking so long? Eventually he gets a call from his insurance company who said, oh, well, the vehicle was reported stolen. And he's like, what? A warrant was issued for his arrest. And I mean, this is not funny. This Dustin still fears to this day that he could be arrested for a crime that he did not commit, that did not exist.
I mean, that applies to me too. I am still constantly fearing that
right?
arrested.
You are this, Dustin. Even worse, another man was stopped and held at gunpoint by a cop after Hertz reported that his loaned rental car was stolen. He was later released, and they were like, oh no, it was an accident. Of course, he filed a claim, as he should, because this is ridiculous. He said police officers showed up at his door and said that he had that there was an alleged stolen car in his driveway. And he's like, no, I have a rental agreement and a bank statement and rental charges. This is not real. And he was sentenced to 2 years of probation, even though this was not real. And he planned to run for state representative. And now he was like, well, God. I can't do that now. Right?
Jeez.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We get to the heart of this, which is that Hertz is saying, Hertz denies that these claims, Hertz is denying these claims. And they're like, we care deeply about our customers. We don't make baseless claims that blatantly misrepresent facts. But the lawyers are alleging that Hertz has a common pattern of missing inventory, and instead of conducting internal investigations, immediately files police reports. So like people are just not paying attention. Like this is just bad systems, clearly bad systems, and they're just like, oh well, okay, let's just file charges against them.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, right.
I want to wait.
Also, well, here's another thing I didn't know. Right at the end of this article, it says those who are suing Hertz have filed their claims in a bankruptcy court because the creditors because Hertz is apparently filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy reorganization, which I didn't know. I was not aware that was a thing. Although I guess if you're arresting a bunch of people over the years that are not or shouldn't be arrested, makes sense that you would be filing for Chapter 11, because if you can't track a couple cars, you probably can't track money.
You see, I wonder if, because okay, this was one of my questions is like, is it like, you know how beat cops, it's like some cops, they'll get like a raise or something, or they like have to meet a quota, of arresting people. And so they'll like, you know, just go out of their way to arrest people for like stupid fucking shit or nothing. And so I'm wondering if like there's some sort of financial claim that they can get from issuing these things.
I don't know.
Also, my question is, when are they issuing the claims? Like, when are they reporting these things stolen? Is it?
It seems like,
yeah, it seems like it's not.
The article was not super clear because I was wondering that too, but it seems like it's pretty soon after. That like people are, you know, turning the cars in, going about their merry business, thinking things are fine, and then Hertz like loses the car, and is just like, well, guess we got to report these to the police. You started asking, right? Well, you started asking, and then my brain was like, is there like a scam going on? Is there like a weird, like a crooked inner group that's like sell the cars off or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
How many? Because like it's not like. If you tell me 2 employees like didn't pay attention, whatever, I completely accept that. That's fine. That many that you're filing that many police reports?
No.
That's crazy.
I mean, I think I may have talked about it on the show before, but if not, anyway, go with me on this. I remember I almost missed a flight because of an argument over a stolen GPS, because the people at the car rental place was like, hey, you checked out a GPS system and that's like $200 and we need to charge you because it's not in the car. And we're like, no, we didn't. Like, we all have cell phones now, and why the hell would we get a GPS? Especially
no one needs it.
Because it's a work trip and we were only going from our hotel to the workplace that we had been 1,000 times. There's a 0% chance. And they were arguing with us and they like wouldn't let us leave. And then like after a huge part of the argument, they were like, oh wait, Jerry checked you guys out. Never mind, go ahead. And it was just like, he does that all the time. And I was
Jerry.
like, what? I mean, I don't remember if the guy's name was Jerry, but whatever it was, like,
it's Jerry.
Yeah. So like there's some idiot who does that, and then all of a sudden people are paying like hundreds of dollars for, first of all, for a thing that costs like $50.
Yeah.
In the first place.
I also love that they were like, oh, it was Jerry. Oh, okay, you're fine.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I guess now we don't have to worry about it.
Also raises so many questions.
Yeah. I am still amazed at how the rental car industry works, because like I have been in a car accident where we totaled the car. Like they towed it, and then as we were there, we were like, hey, what should we do? And they're like, well, do you want to just come get another car? And we're like, can we? Can we just have another car? And they're like, yeah, just come. So then we had to have our friend who had also rented a car from that exact same place pick us up and then bring us into the rental car lot to get another car. And then when she tried to leave, it was confusing as fuck, because she was like, yes, I did rent the car from you, just not right now. So like, I need to leave here. I'm neither returning nor checking out this car. I am just using this car and happen to be in your parking lot. And that took forever to resolve.
Are they all like, is it just that nothing's digital yet? Like they're using like paper to track what cars go with which people?
Because you're saying a thing that I was also thinking about, which is like, yeah, anytime I've been to, and I don't, granted, go to a lot of car rental places, but anytime I've been in one, it's been like they've got the old printer with the little tear off side thingies, like the side papers, the dot matrix printers, and they're like using a computer that I'm like, this computer is from like a 1983 movie. Why in this era is everything not just like, yeah.
Generally, the reason I found for that is because so many companies made their program off of like DOS, like way back when, before any of these things happened, and they're like, well, it'll cost us $1 billion to upgrade it, so like, screw it, we'll just keep doing this.
What it comes back to.
Yeah. So, did either of you guys rent from Hertz? Are either of you guys potentially outlaws right now?
I can't drive.
Okay, either can I. So it's just Heather. Heather, are you the
Nope, 3 for 3, baby. 3 for 3.
Great. All right.
We're a group of non-drivers.
So we're safe. We're safe. Nobody's going to jail.
But I think my husband has rented from Hertz, so who knows?
Okay, so
it could be. Yeah.
So that's a threat that you can give him, that like, hey, if you ever do anything, I potentially get you thrown in jail for renting a car in 2007.
Yeah, I know about you. You rented a car.
It hurts, don't it?
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's right. Wow, I love that. I love that we're 3 for 3 non-drivers. That's amazing.
You guys know how to drive, or do you guys just not drive?
I learned. I didn't like it.
Right.
I just didn't like it, and I kind of was like, I don't need this.
Yeah.
As
Tina
I get
Fey
older,
doesn't.
see, she's also got like billions, so she doesn't ever have to worry about it. I mean, it is a thing that like I think I should get back on it and like get a little more comfortable with it, just because it is a good skill I think to have. But I don't think it's ever going to change that I find it very stressful.
Yeah.
I used to have a car way back when. They don't let me drive.
Really?
They don't let me drive so much anymore. But like back in the day, for a solid year, I had a car when I had to drive when I was on Long Island, and I had to drive to and from work, and then I moved into the city, and then got rid of the car. And
right, like, what's the point?
Yeah, after that, or do we want to move on to our second story?
Sure.
Send it over to Maggie. For this weird ass story.
Get ready.
Yeah.
Hey, have you guys know where your dead relatives' heads are? Because you might not know where they are. That's it. There was a box of human heads stolen from a truck in Denver. What are all those things in the box? Thieves steal a box of human heads from a truck in Denver. It is it's important to note a couple things.
Yeah.
So
with a story like this,
just a couple important things. So Denver, for one thing, that's important. Denver's Central Park neighborhood. The theft was discovered near an elementary school. The crime is believed to have happened between 2:30 p.m. Wednesday and 9:30 a.m. Thursday. That is a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a very long period of time. The thief or thieves, so they don't know anything about the situation.
But before you could you just imagine somebody being like, "Hey, the heads were stolen." Like, oh, when? Like, like I don't know, like in pretty big window. Like
that means that they were left unattended for probably longer than that. Like why? I don't know, man. I thought
why did they
donate a lot of shit to
exist?
science, but I don't know anymore.
They're for science.
They're for science. They were just for science. But the thieves took the box and a dolly cart from the freight company's truck. And I found it very interesting that it said sources told the television station, the stolen cardboard box was blue and white. So I don't like that.
So they're keeping human heads in a cardboard box.
And that's
just a bunch of heads in a box.
That sounds like just it doesn't. I don't think it would work because I'm assuming there's liquids.
Probably.
I don't know. I mean, no. Well, like now you have me thinking that they're just literally heads in a box. No jars, no preservative. Just
dried heads in the box, in the cardboard box. Flimsy.
What?
How would you travel ahead?
You're right. I shouldn't judge because it's not like I have a better idea.
Oh my God.
The Science Care facility is located less than 10 miles from where the theft occurred. So, like, all accidents happen close to home.
Mm-hmm.
Really, what you learned here.
I think like a bunch of kids stole them because they were like, heads.
That sounds
because that's
like
what I don't know, in my mind, that's what I think kids are like.
elementary school
heads.
kids. Yeah, heads.
No, I'm going.
I mean, I remember being in elementary school, and I was a well-behaved elementary school kid, but I could still like see being like,
Given the right
Wait, no, hold on. I'm not letting that one go.
I would not have stolen heads. I'm confident that I would not have.
Okay, that's what I wanted to check. Because like a little young Heather would be like, oh, a box of heads. I am definitely bringing this home. Then like there's a bigger conversation we need to have.
I would not have, but I can tell you that if friends in my class had been like, hey, we found a box of heads, I would have been that kid that was like, I want to know all about it. Tell me all about the heads. I'm so interested. Like, I would have been very interested. I'm like, why did you find heads? What did they look like? And then I would have asked like a million questions, and
you would be
probably annoying everybody.
An accessory, but you wouldn't be.
I would be. Yes, because they would have told me, and I would have been like, oh, cool. Heads in a box.
I get. It does seem likely, being that they said specifically it was near an elementary school.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it really just says the theft left many unanswered questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only unanswered questions, really.
Pretty much only. There are no answers in this article whatsoever. The theft left many unanswered questions, including how many heads were in the box. They don't know.
Did one? Wait, they don't know?
Which also is insane.
How do they not know?
What?
Yeah.
You don't inventory. Okay, that's. I skimmed this article. That's the craziest fucking thing in this whole article.
Do you know who's in charge of this? Yeah, thank you.
It's just like Hertz. They're saying, I don't know where it went.
Hertz. They were like, I don't know where the heads went. I didn't inventory these heads. What? Guess I don't know.
Yeah.
But
everyone better check. They better check their car warrants, because now it's not just cars. Now it's going to be like, oh, also missing one head.
Right. So that's two problems right there. There's one. You didn't write down how many heads you put in the box. Problem one. Problem two is that you can't even go back to your inventory and say, well, how many heads did we have? And how many do we have now?
To receive, like, who was waiting on the delivery that didn't get their heads?
Right, they're just willy-nilly with heads.
Actually, that's an excellent question. Like, I'm going down the road of like elementary school kids pranks, but you're also asking the most important question: is why did no one report missing heads?
Yeah,
unless it was something nefarious, and so maybe it was internal. Like,
right,
nefarious head.
Because this seems like some supervillain shit. Like every time.
Well, if they're just thrown in a cardboard box, then again, was it that the kids? Because I'm just going to presume that the kids did this. Did the kids like break the heads out of something and throw them in a box?
No, the cardboard box is what was holding the heads originally.
God damn it! What is happening?
Oh, there's more unanswered questions that it lists that are.
Bring it. Oh my God, please.
So we don't know how many heads were in the box to begin with, but we also don't know why the truck was parked where it was going, and we don't know who was driving.
So, I feel like one could just check plates. Well, we also had a story about Hertz, so
to me, it does feel like an inside job. Like, it feels like they were already stolen once they were picked up in this truck in a cardboard box, which does make a little bit more sense. That, like, yes, they probably weren't supposed to be in a cardboard box to begin with.
I mean, no way.
But we're still not really discussing what's happening with the heads.
Somebody's decomposing.
Somebody has extra heads than they left the house with.
Yeah. But I mean, if it's an inside job, there's like, you don't inside job for just like, hey, I want some heads. You inside job.
There's some prime person that's like waiing for heads.
Yeah, someone's building a person.
Yeah.
Now they're like, well, guess I didn't get my heads.
Joy asked the question, was the three kids in a trench coat? Probably.
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 Yeah. More than likely.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that. I don't. Do you guys have any more thoughts on that?
Also, can you hear the lost and found inquiry? Like, hey, I lost a box of heads. Did anybody?
Like to report missing.
Yeah.
Box of heads.
Then they have to be like, can you describe like the hair color? Can you describe like what kind of head?
Can you describe what kind of heads?
To make sure that it's yours. I don't want to give you a head that's not yours.
Right. And the person doesn't know. The person has no idea.
Can you describe? Yeah. Can you describe some distinguishing features?
Right.
Yeah. It had a face.
A face. God
Okay.
damn.
So, all right.
Girl, you crazy.
So moving on to our third story. If you thought that we had gone to the dark side with our first two stories, you're wrong.
Uh-oh.
Send the kids out of the room, because I know there's a bunch of kids watching right now.
Yeah, they are.
Send the kids out of the room.
They're the ones who stole the heads.
That's right.
Of course they're listening.
Right. They're sitting there in front of YouTube with their bonus heads of undetermined amount.
Yeah, it's like the one kid in the trench coat suddenly looked around and was like,
This story, there's a little button that we have to click. Is this story appropriate for kids? This story especially makes the answer to be no. So, so this next story, 311. The thing that a lot of people called 311 about this year to complain about was loud sex from their neighbors. Apparently, that's a problem. I have not heard it in my apartment. I have disappointingly not heard people having loud sex in anywhere around. But apparently in the calendar from February of last year to February of this year, there have been a huge number of complaints. And I pulled this article because I want to read to you some of these quotes from people that called, because they're just wonderful. They're just wonderful quotes. I should have put them in graphics. I apologize. I did not think of that until right now. Yeah. The way they got these was somebody, for reasons I still don't fully understand, filed a Freedom of Information Act kind of thing against 311 to find out what people were calling about 311 for. I guess just for curiosity.
Because they knew it was going to be a good story.
Right.
They knew. So
the first one I want to read to you guys is just a lady who just called to say, "Listen, I'm just a Christian woman, and help this girl stop having loud sex before God does."
Oh no!
Which I was like, wait, is that like a threat? I
think so. I believe that is a Christian threat.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Also, she's gonna be real disappointed when God doesn't stop her.
Right.
Because this lady is obviously married to God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. I assume this lady is referencing God a lot if she's having loud sex.
Obviously.
So this next one, I only pulled a short part of this quote because I want to ask you guys what you think this means. One Bronx local said his neighbor was having loud and ruthless sex in the middle of the afternoon. And I really am not sure what ruthless sex is. So I thought maybe you guys do. Maybe you guys are familiar with what would constitute ruthless sex. Or if chat has an idea what ruthless sex is, by all means.
I think it is inherently ruthless to have loud sex in the afternoon. Already defining term. That is ruthless to me.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's nothing, the just sheer act of doing it is ruthless. There's nothing special about this sex that makes it ruthless.
I'm sure there are more things. I'm sure that there are more things to make it ruthless. I'm just saying that inherently, unlike an example of ruthlessness is timing specific.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Ruthless to the others around you. Yeah. I feel like I don't know, when I hear ruthless, what a description. My brain goes to at least one person, maybe both people, screaming at each other things like, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, I don't know, or like threats that didn't make the people think that anyone was in danger, but it was ruthless. Exactly like that too. Yeah, I'll keep going.
I think it might be more ruthless if they're having loud sex and someone's going, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop.
Maybe that's what it is. Exactly.
Yeah. Call it off.
I'm calling it off. Could you imagine? No, don't you say another word. I'm calling it off. I'm calling it off. You look at me one more time. I'm calling it off.
Say my name or I'm calling it off.
That's it.
Joy says it's in the eye of the beholder what ruthless sex is.
Lovely.
And Justin says it would be without Dr. Ruth, which is true.
Oh, boo.
Which is true. Hey.
Very well done.
Hey, don't attack chat. Also, you attack chat. It's
great.
okay.
No, that was a great joke. Fantastic joke.
Next quote. Person complained said, orgy going on in the backyard, boobs and penises being flashed on the street.
That quote delighted me.
Yeah, that happened in Queens at 1 a.m. You know, sometimes boobs and penises are getting flashed in the street. You don't know what's going to happen. You got to call. Who else are you going to call with 311 to let people know that that's happening? Maggie, you look upset.
No, I'm just like, yeah, like you could call. I don't know. It sounds like a brag. It sounds like if you're calling anyone, you're bragging. There's penises and boobs in my backyard.
Yeah,
great. That's amazing. Collect them all.
Yeah, collect them all.
No.
What if when you're calling 311 to report that, you were actually trying to like get 311 to join you? What if that's what's actually happening? You're like, hey, 311. There's an orgy. There's a lot of boobs and a lot of penis.
My backyard.
Saying it's on the corner of my backyard and could be your backyard.
Yeah.
Similar to your comment, our next quote says, the apartment always has a loud moaning from the female occupant while having intercourse. Hard for a lonely neighbor to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, that and I liked that because I did look at this story beforehand and because I wanted to know what I was getting into. I like that this story used the phrase "a downtrodden man reported that."
Yeah.
Like the story judged the man for reporting a lonely neighbor.
Assumptions about his vocals.
Yeah.
Poor thing. I mean, from my personal experience, that was half of why it was so annoying, was because I was so goddamn lonely at the time of hearing these people just have a great time. I was so alone.
But I'm guessing you did not call 311 to report it.
I think I did tell our super, because it was like it happened so often, and they were also like playing like a lot of loud music. Like there was a lot of different noise complaints to be made about this place.
General noise complaints, yeah,
general noise complaints, and also I guess our walls were just freaking paper thin, because it was like hearing the bed get rammed against my bedroom wall on a beat, and then I could hear the guy. I couldn't even hear the girl as much, which you go figure. I could hear the guy talking about what he was doing very clearly.
Were they
very clearly? Oh no.
Were they frequent, or were they long-termers in terms of like how it was going?
You mean like Wait, what do you mean?
I mean, like, did they do it a lot for a short amount of time, or did they do it for a long amount of time?
They were doing it very frequently. I did get earplugs finally, because it was insane. And then I think they moved out halfway through when I was there, and it finally stopped. But it was like a couple weeks where they were just, having their best freaking time. And just like, he was like, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I don't want to get too graphic on the show.
I mean, wait till the next quote and you'll be fine.
Okay, good. I'll wait for the next quote.
Yeah. The next quote is, a person in Queens said a neighbor was shouting loudly that he was a sexual tyrannosaurus.
Yeah.
Which,
that's, what does that mean?
Is that a good thing? Is that a good, like, ladies, is that a thing that you want? Like,
no, because my what I picture is somebody who's doing that.
Right.
And like, why is that?
Say.
Yeah.
That means you're thick. You're thick-bottomed, and you're not reaching much.
Right, and
You're like, hey, let me get them titties.
Because I feel like hands are good during sexy times. Like I feel like you want to be able to reach things. Yeah,
they're needed.
Yeah.
Just thinking.
If you're like a Star Trek alien, and there's like, I'm not gonna get into sci-fi.
I appreciate the journey you two are going on.
Maybe he meant a different dinosaur. Maybe he accidentally said Tyrannosaurus. Maybe he meant a different one.
I'm going to try and zoom.
I'm a velociraptor.
Yeah. Or
that might be ruthless.
Triceratops is a sexy dinosaur.
Yeah.
For the 3 horns.
All right. I'm going to keep going because I still got 2 more good ones.
Oh, shit. Okay, sorry.
A series of grievances lodged by an anonymous person said the locations held massive sex parties with, it starts with the letter J, slapping my window. I'm assuming that means like junk, but I don't know why it doesn't have the full word. Gangbangs and people dressed as Jason, Freddy, Pennywise, and Mike Myers, all while the Velveteen Dreams theme song was playing.
That sounds like a sketch being filmed.
It does.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's not real.
Like junk slapping on my window. That's like a great song. Junk slapping on my window.
Slapping
on my window. Yeah.
Similar to that is O to the R to the G to the Y, put it all together, and you get an orgy party. A complaint read, come on down, and they are letting their booties hit the floor. They are screaming cowabunga and orgy. Because everybody knows in the middle of an orgy, like,
that's what you yell.
You're gonna scream cowabunga. Like you
absolutely,
can't, you can't not scream cowabunga in the middle of an orgy, and you have to scream that it is an orgy. That way, everybody in the orgy is aware that it is an orgy. Otherwise,
also
people are gonna get confused.
In case you didn't know, heads up.
Yeah. So
I really hope that at least one person just went, "What? This is an orgy?" I just hope.
So that one was potentially fake in the sense that the person who it was held against was like a parent of 2 kids, and they're like, no, this person just keeps complaining against me. So
oh wow,
it's possible. Whoa. It's possible that parent sends the kids away, and
the junk was not slapping on windows.
Right. Yes. Although just because we could talk about this story all night long, I have one more quote. It says, a person complained that said, some guy is singing Jingle Bells at the top of his voice, while another person is screaming, yes, Daddy, come down my chimney. And all this occurred on December 23rd, 2021.
Well, that's just a rousing holiday party.
Right.
Clearly.
I love it. I love
just getting things ready for Santa.
Yes.
Wow.
Just getting things ready for Santa.
Getting ready for Santa. Making a list, checking it twice.
Making that list, checking it twice. Junk on the window, naughty or nice.
Oh Jesus! And this is all in the last year. This is all in. Like,
so you are actually. That segues into my biggest question about this, which are they? And I know we don't have the actual answer, but I was wondering, are they getting more complaints because people have been home more?
That's what I thought.
Probably.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, why now? Why all these complaints now?
Probably, especially because if you do it used to be if you did it during the day, like nobody was ever going to know.
Right, no one's home.
Right.
Everybody's home, and I think also impending doom. Yeah.
Right. So everyone's like, you gotta do it now. Yeah.
If, like they always say, if there's ever a time to be a sexual Tyrannosaurus, now is the time.
That's the time. Hey, have you wanted to live your dreams of Jurassic Park? Now you've got them. Now you've got them. And I also all I could think about was the various 311 people who are on the receiving end of these calls.
So
I don't know how to help you.
Right, I don't know how to help.
yeah. So
We had to call 311 recently about there was construction on the weekend and we were calling about it. And I'm thinking about how they responded. So like now I'm just imagining these same 311 people just being like, okay, can you describe exactly what was happening? Okay.
Oh, no.
Uh-huh. And you're saying you're hearing that outside? Okay. And you don't think that you should be here. Like,
Yeah.
wild.
So Joy in the chat said she called the police once because of junk on the window.
Junk on the window?
Jump on the
If
window.
you're using junk in the way that we've been using junk, that's a story that I am shocked that I have not heard yet. I would very much like to hear you tell that story at some point. We need to move on, but please, we will come back to that when it's appropriate. Anything else on this, or should we move on to what the fact?
Well,
I think we're ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Great story, though.
great story.
Insane story. And while we're here, before we move on to what the fact, if you are enjoying the show and you are not a subscriber, please take the moment to like and subscribe, because it really helps us a ton, and it will remind you of when future shows are happening. And I'll probably remind you one more time before we leave. What the fact? Okay, so for those who have not seen the segment before, 3 questions. We will give you guys in chat an opportunity to answer. We will give you guys on the show an opportunity to answer, and we'll see. I'm worried that this one that these are going to be easy, but I will, let's find out. So our first one, currently, minus like a little one-celled thing, there's only one living animal that is considered genetically immortal. What is that animal? Is it a type of jellyfish, a bowhead whale, or a glass sponge? One of these 3 animals will basically just live forever. If not, like, it's killable, but if not, like, killed by a thing, it will just live on an eternity.
Can we ask questions, or do we just need to know? Do we just need to answer?
You can ask questions, although I doubt I will have the answer. But you are welcome to ask whatever question you want.
Is a glass sponge a real animal?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Yes, it is.
Am I allowed to Google things? No, I can't.
No.
No. Yeah, no.
After the show.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know why I would ask that. I'm so sorry. No. I want to picture the stuff.
We've got Joy suggesting that it is either a sponge or a jellyfish, and Justin saying C.
I also think it's the glass sponge, but if it's not, then I think it's the jellyfish. I don't think it's the bowhead whale.
Yeah,
I think it's the glass sponge, because those, if you think about them, those seem like pretty, like they would be indestructible.
Okay.
Like think about when you see those like sea sponges, like those seem indestructible.
I'm gonna say type of jellyfish just to be different.
Okay. Oh, I just to apologize. I've been saying Justin. That is actually Jeff, Joy's brother in the chat. I apologize. I'm a bad person. But it just said JM. I didn't know. I apologize.
We do know a lot of people with the initials JM.
Yes.
So
Yeah. All right. So the actual answer to this question is in fact C, a jellyfish, specifically that name that I could not conceivably pronounce correctly.
it's the Turritopsis dorni?
Yeah. Okay. I'll go with you guys on that.
It also looks like Torito dornis.
This
Doritos.
This particular jellyfish can basically change where it is in its life cycle at any point. So if, for example, it can't find food at all, it can basically go back to like the equivalent of the egg stage, where it doesn't need food, and it'll just stay like that until it can come across food again.
Oh my God, I love the ocean.
That's not
the
fair.
ocean is full of so many interesting, amazing, like, what?
Is this
How arrogant are we as humans that we're just so like, we're humans? And it's like, there is literally a jellyfish that's just like, well, can't find food today. I'm just going to go back a couple years.
live forever?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Both of those other choices, they can live up to about 10,000 years.
Oh,
Wow.
So as far as we're concerned, they're immortal. But in the grand scheme of things, they are not. But this jellyfish could just keep on going until somebody tries to eat it. So now you know. Now there's.
Wow.
Is this one of the deep sea boys? Like the really, really deep sea?
That it is.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it is.
That's
Yeah.
my
Cool, right?
That's my favorite.
There's so many things down there. So many mysterious things.
Right. So in terms of our secret to becoming immortal, become like that jellyfish, and be able to go back to being a baby or like an embryo or whatever. Like, so that's the secret. Moving on to question number 2. Which of the following things did Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, there should be a second Y there, I screwed that up, but I know how to spell it, do before coming into office? So it could be 1, 2, or 3 of these options. I'll read them to you. Did he win Ukraine's Dancing with the Stars? Did he dub the voice of Paddington Bear in the Ukrainian language version of Paddington Bear? Or did he play the piano with his penis on TV? He definitely did at least one of these 3 things. He could have done 2, or he could have done 3. Maggie, I'm going to come to you first.
All right. I'm going to say, I think he was Paddington and possibly Danced with the Stars.
Okay. What makes you say that?
I don't know
Okay.
why I say that. I think it just, there's something about the Paddington Bear thing that just feels right. Feels right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
We got a choice of A from Jeff. Heather, what are you thinking?
I'm with Maggie. I'm going with A and B. And I'm going to timeline it that I think he did the voice of Paddington Bear first, and then that gave him a little bit of fame, and then he won Dancing with the Stars. And I don't know anything about him, so I don't know if he's like one of those presidents that's a famous president, like a Ronald Reagan or something, or if he just is, that happens to be like he was a president and they were like, by the way, have him do these things.
Yeah.
Either of those things to be said, I don't think that he played the piano with his penis on TV. That's very cool. I don't think he did it.
I hope it's true.
Okay. Well, the actual answer to this question is all of them.
Oh my gosh. What's the like, was he famous first? Did he become president?
He was famous. He was a sketch comedian before he became president. He was famous for doing an impression of the president of Ukraine before he became the president of Ukraine.
And everyone was like, you play this so well, you might as well actually do it.
That's amazing.
So he actually filled his cabinet partially with like other comedians that he had come up with. So it is arguably like similar to the like you were saying, like Ronald Reagan was an actor and then he became a politician. So this is basically the equivalent of if like Jon Stewart and Dave Chappelle became president of or like Alec Baldwin became president of the United States. That's kind of what happened here. So he was good call on the timeline. He did do Paddington when he was like on his way up. That helped him do Dancing with the Stars. The playing the piano with his penis was part of his sketch show that he and another actor played a song with their penises.
Now that I know he's a sketch comedian, I would have guessed the third one, obviously. But
so
that's wild.
He has been, in my opinion, impressive as all hell as the leader of Ukraine to begin with in the amount of bravery, but to know that like to some degree, like he was not built for this specifically. He not had a thrust upon him because he ran, but just to think about like the most talented sketch comedian trying to stand up to Putin in the middle of a war and being badass in the process, and also having won Dancing with the Stars. Like it's crazy. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. Wow. So I thought you guys might not know about all that stuff. I'm glad that I can teach people about just how crazy and insane that is.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like look them up when this is done. It's super fun. Okay, in 2002, Elmo testified before Congress. And it was revealed what his last name was. So, do you guys want to take a guess beforehand, or should I'll give you the choices?
I need choices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it Elmo Buddy, Elmo Schmelmo, or Elmo Monster?
Oh my God. I feel like I
Wait, isn't it? I feel like I've heard all of them be called like Grover Monster and like, you know, like it's their name Monster, but Shelmo's looking really good.
I think it's Shelmo.
Okay.
Like, I feel like in the recesses of my brain, I remember this. And I can like hear him being like, Elmo, Shelmo. But that could also be my brain creating a memory.
It could be.
I will say I don't think it's A.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think Joy's gonna go. I was gonna go with B, but she thinks it's probably C.
Yeah.
I will. Also, she pointed out that it would be hilarious if it was Mulaney versus Putin. I think even Mulaney agrees that he would get his ass kicked by Putin, but still, he's way funnier than Putin is. So the actual answer to this is Elmo Monster. It is in fact C. When
Monster.
when he was testifying, they referred to him as Mr. Monster instead of Elmo because they normally refer to people by Mr. or whatever. So they referred to him as Mr. Monster instead of Elmo.
Very formal and good.
Yes.
Wow. Why was he testifying?
He was trying. He had war crimes. No.
Okay.
He was. He was trying to raise money for like the arts and stuff like that. Trying to encourage people to put more money in the budget for the arts. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it would have been cooler if it was war crimes, but sadly it was not.
Good job, Elmo.
So. So that is our What the Facts for this week. Hopefully I continue to surprise people with ridiculous facts that exist. Which brings us to our third and final segment, which is Would You Rather. Heather, kick us off.
I will. Okay, I'm bringing us to an interesting world here. Would you rather eat the oldest thing in the office fridge, or would you rather clean the office bathroom? And
office?
I think for the purposes of this, it would be like where you work. Or if you have an office job, or think of an office job or something.
Okay.
Dustin, I'm going to throw it to you.
For me, this one's easy. I thought about it for like a minute, and then I was like, oh, no, wait, I'm me. I forgot I'm me. So I would go with clean the office bathroom because of two reasons. One, I eat very few things. So the odds of the thing in the kitchen being a thing that I eat is small to begin with. So it's a thing that I don't eat, and it's gross. So I would go with the bathroom because I know at the very least I can clean the bathroom. I don't want to eat like Indian food that's been there for like 3 weeks, and it's like I wouldn't have wanted to eat that to begin with. I just eat burgers and chicken and pasta and rice, and I call it a day, and everybody makes fun of me for it. But it makes it so that I would go with the bathroom definitely 100%. I don't even have to think about it.
All right, Maggie, what about you?
I technically right now my gig is making content for a mortgage company, and that's based in Rhode Island, and like the office is very, very nice. And so if we're talking about like this specific office, I think I'd go with fridge. I think I trust them.
Wow.
I think I trust them that they clean out the fridge enough that it would be like some old birthday cake, and I would tear that shit up. Yeah. Nice.
Joy saying that she's cleaned the men's bathroom in a golf course so she can handle an office bathroom. I tend to agree with that statement.
What a powerful lady.
Yep.
Yeah, truly. I am also going to go with cleaning the office bathroom. I have cleaned comedy theater bathrooms. I can clean an office bathroom. Fine. I've had vomit handed to me in a popcorn cup. That's a real thing. Ask Julia about that story someday. When we have her on sometime, ask her.
Why was it handed to you?
Oh, because people are gross.
People are gross.
Actually, the person who vomited didn't hand it to me. It was the person who found it and was like, discovered that that's what it was. But that being said, I hated it. It's gross. I don't enjoy cleaning bathrooms. But I've done it. I can do it. You can put on a mask, wash your hands. I am not as picky as Dustin as an eater, but I absolutely loathe and am grossed out by old food, stale food. Don't even get me started on food that starts to grow things like potatoes growing stalks. Like, no, get that out of here. Yeah, exactly, Dustin. Correct response, Dustin. Get that out of here. So I don't want to. Also, I've worked in a couple different offices, and personally, I found that no matter how wonderful the people I worked with were, they are disgusting with fridges.
Oh my God.
There's just always one person that just, I don't know, I guess they just bring stuff in, they forget about it, or they, I don't know. I don't know.
People do that. That's wild.
I mean, if you're at a WeWork, it's good because on Friday at 4:00 or whatever, they're like, we're throwing everything out mercilessly.
That's how it should. That's how every office fridge should be treated.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So
that is 100% how every office fridge.
So if you do work at a WeWork, choose the office fridge one, because worst case, you're talking about 5 days. So,
sounds great.
And you don't want to clean. I mean, they clean those bathrooms like 4 times a day, like a disturbingly large amount of times that they clean those bathrooms.
That's good. Great.
Yeah. Anyway, so that means it looks like office bathroom wins. Because that's where chat landed as well. Maggie, we'll move on to you.
Yes. Who would you rather bring back to life, John Lennon or Stephen Jobs?
Who do you want to toss it to, Heather?
I'll toss it to Heather.
I will go with John Lennon because I think that he was on the precipice of really interesting time in his life. I think I've thought about this, like not in regards to Steve Jobs, but I would have been really interested to have seen what he would have created and where he would have gone life-wise throughout the 80s. I think he would have done some cool shit, and it felt like he was finally getting more at peace with himself and his life. Maybe that wouldn't have happened. I don't know, but I would have been really interested to see what influence he would have had and what would have happened. And yeah, there's a lot of art that I think could have been created, or just interesting things or contributions I think he could have made. I think Steve Jobs has obviously created very cool, iconic things. I mean, I love the iPod. I love the iPhone. I love the technology. It's amazing. And there's no denying that it's changed everything for us. But I feel like, what else was he going to do? I'm sure that's not true. And I'm sure he would have maybe created something else amazing. But I kind of feel like he made the iPod, which kicked off all the things that led to the iPhone, which changed things. And it's like, okay, you did it. I'm sure I'm wrong, but this is how I feel. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, so he
made supercomputers. I choose. I would like to see more of the art.
Yeah.
Okay.
From somebody who was clearly very artistically gifted, and they're both gifted in their own in their own forms of art. But yeah, I vote Lennon.
Okay.
Justin?
So I will. To me, like, I was debating this initially, and again, this one all of a sudden popped into my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I know exactly where I want to go with this one. Because if you think about like where John Lennon was like towards the end, like if you think about the Beatles, they went from like, you know, like happy blah 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 to like weird, you know, to weird whatever. Like I get the impression that he would have only gotten weirder. I get the impression that like the harpsichord would come in and like there'd be people playing like the saw and shit like that. Like I feel like he would get so bored with things that like sound good that he would start going into things that sound awful just because like fuck the man. You know, like I think he would have gotten like off the I think okay, so maybe like I was a big fan of the musician Tori Amos when I was younger, and I'm still a fan of the music that she made. But like as she got deeper into her career, she started like playing some really weird shit, you know, like still in her vein, but weird. So I feel like, and I don't feel like she's as like obnoxious as John Lennon would have been. Like John Lennon very much bought into the hype of being John Lennon, and I think like he would have been one of those people, you know, who like people are like mad at their fans, like I feel like he would have been one of those people, especially now, who would have made music just to like piss people off. Whereas like Steve Jobs, I feel like was one of those people who was like, no, we're making this thing and it's going to be cool. And I don't care if we don't have the technology for it. We're going to figure it out. And like, you know, like who would have thought the iPhone was realistically a thing that people could have before we saw it? And then it became like, that's the thing everybody has to have. I don't know, to your point, Heather, I don't know what like the thing would have been that he would have come up with. Because at this point, Apple has just been like, hey, let's just make an iPhone, but like different. Since then,
I mean, we're in a cycle now of like, hey, let's make an iPhone that's really big. Hey, let's make an iPad. Oh, it's bigger. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, let's make it small again. Oh my gosh, look, it's in your pocket. Now, just kidding, it's big again. Like,
right, but that's because he's not here. Like maybe it's because
That's true. And I mean, listen, I'm a nerd and I am super into like technology and Apple stuff. And I'm going to use the phrase, have certainly been on message boards where people talk about like Apple things. And there's divisions of people who are like pre-jobs, post-jobs, and like, I guess just like as comedians, we would like shit talk a comedian. I will see people who are like, that's because that's Tim Cook era. Like I have 100% seen people like smack talk like.
Oh, that's wild.
So yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Right. Joy saying she's anti-Apple, so she's going to go with Lennon. And
I have a question for the end. I want to hear Maggie's thoughts though. Right.
I would also say Lennon. I would much rather see the art. Because I do feel like similarly, like Steve Jobs would probably just be like, oh wow, I'm blanking on his name. The Tesla evil man.
Elon
Yeah,
Musk?
it would be like Elon and everybody who's just like
they make space.
They make their invention and then they profit forever and they have too much money and then they turn so evil and weird.
But
John Lennon could have also turned evil and weird. That's totally a possibility, but I think I would rather the music.
I think Steve Jobs would have tried to figure out a way to get everybody into space as opposed to just like super crazy rich people.
That would be nice.
Yeah, like it would have been like still expensive, but like you know, like in the same way that you know, like an iPhone, you're like, oh, I want an iPhone. Like it's $1,100 if you just buy it. You're like, oh, fuck that. I don't know if I want an iPhone that much.
So my only question, and I'm gonna word this in a way, and I hope it's not, because I don't mean this in an offensive way, Justin, but I'm super curious.
Okay.
How much of John Lennon's music do you know, or do you mostly know like his Beatles stuff?
I mostly know his Beatles stuff.
Okay, so you haven't listened to like, have you heard some of his stuff like right before he died, like leading up to?
Maybe. I don't know. Can you like name a song that would be applicable to that?
Well, he did like Beautiful Boy, the song Beautiful Boy. That was like right before he died.
I think I have. I'm not 100% sure.
I would love for you to listen to like his last two albums right before he died.
Okay.
He does Double Fantasy with Yoko Ono. I know everyone likes to shit, but give it a listen. And I forget the name of the other one, but I would love to have you listen to that and talk to you about it, because I just think that he was creating such interesting, beautiful stuff, and he was. Anyway, I'm a nerd. But I would be so curious to hear, like, if you listen to that and you'd be like, oh, maybe he was going to, like, not create music with a saw. Also, let's be real. Maybe he would have created music with a saw and it still would have been cool. Yeah. I don't know. Right?
Possibly. I've never heard good saw music, but Joy's saying it's cool and she went to school for music. So I gotta trust her on it. So.
I think I knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
She went to school to be an audio engineer. She wrote a bunch of songs and stuff like that. So
that's radical.
Yeah, badass lady.
I have to fix something. I'm right here.
Okay.
Hiker's booth.
I keep hitting all the wrong buttons. There we go.
Hi.
Finally, I've hit the red button, and now I've made it even more awkward. Okay, so that means I guess John Lennon wins because
I think so. Yeah,
because Chet's on board.
I'm back. Sorry, it's just really windy here, and I have the windows open, and our window screen just like fell over, and I don't want that. I don't want our windows exposed.
No problem. I made it super awkward while you were gone. I made it. I drew as much attention to it as possible. So
great, love it, love that.
It's all my fault. And Joy in the chat is lying and saying that the songs that she wrote are not good songs. They were good songs.
I believe that they were good songs.
So deal with it. They were good songs. She wrote me a song that she played for me on our wedding day.
I bet it was great.
It was wonderful, except like she likes to tell the story because we were supposed to dance to a song, and I said to the DJ like, "Hey, we're gonna do this and whatever," and then all of a sudden I heard him like mixing to another song, and I was like, "What the fuck is he doing? Like, this isn't freelance time. This isn't like mess around with it time. It's the first dance. Like, do the thing that I told you."
Yeah, this is probably not the time to experiment.
Right.
Like, you can experiment other times, not this time.
Right. She's like, no, listen. I was like, what? Like, I can't believe he's doing this. And she's like, no, I wrote you a song. And it's like, I'm...
Got it.
I'm awful. So, like, mixing to the song. So, like, Joy letting a whole room full of people listen to a song that she sang and wrote shows a tremendous amount of love because she is a wonderful person. I think it was good either way, but I know that she tends to doubt herself. So the fact that she was willing to do that at a time where she knew every single person was going to pay attention shows that she is a super awesome lady.
That's really nice.
That's let us get into the third question. So we don't go too far over. We all agree that Joy is a wonderful, wonderful person.
Oh, yes.
And Julia agrees, saying that is beautiful because Joy is beautiful and she does beautiful things.
You love your wife.
I do.
Yeah.
Our third question. If you had to get rid of one of these things in your apartment, you could never get it back. You just had to live a life without this thing in your apartment forever. Would you choose to get rid of your bed, your couch, or I say shower head, meaning that you would have to take a bath every time. You couldn't just take a shower in the morning.
How did you know I was going to ask that question?
Yeah, it requires you to take a bath every time you want to go get clean. If you had to get rid of one of these three things, which would you get rid of? Heather, I'll go to you first.
Okay, so thank you for answering ahead of time my question, which was, could I just have the shower arm and not have to have a shower head attachment? Because I was like, I don't care. I'll just have the shower arm and it can spit water at me. I'm still not going to pick that one because we just had like a wacky thing. I'd gotten a new shower head and it stopped working. And I thought that so at first I thought that our building had messed stuff up because our building has been fixing stuff in our bathroom that's been broken. And I was like, they screwed it up. And then I had a spare shower head and swapped it and was like, no, the shower head was garbage. Oh, no. It's actually not. There's something wrong with the shower head. I tell you that long-winded story to say that in the week amount of time when I couldn't use the shower because it was dripping, I took baths and I actually got used to it really fast. Like I wouldn't want, no, you know what? If I had to commit, as long as I have the running water and could wash myself, I was able to successfully clean myself. I felt clean. I felt fine. I was able to do it quickly. So like in the morning, I didn't have to worry about because I think of showers as like saving time. But it was fine. I didn't mind it. So I'm not picking that. I think I'd pick couch because I could sit on the floor or put down a beanbag or something. Whereas like, I don't want to sleep on the floor. I don't want to put down a sleeping bag and like sleep on a floor permanently. So bed is the thing I don't want to give up. Is the question, don't give it up?
Which one would you give up?
Couch.
Couch.
I'll go with couch.
Okay. Sooner or later, I'm gonna have to make the 3-option one because I keep getting into 3-option choices, but if you're gonna go with couch. There's been a whole thing in the meantime going on in chat about Joy's tape. Jeff apparently does have a tape of original Joy compositions, to which Joy responded, "But you do not have a tape player," which is agreed. But he's also now he's apparently committed to uploading them all to YouTube, which I think he's mostly saying is an idle threat. But I hope he really does it. And on point, Topping jumped in with, "I'd get rid of my bed. My couch is super easy to sleep on, and I have so much more space in my apartment," which I believe is a fair argument. Anyway, just wanted to update people where we were in chat.
Cool.
So you're gonna go with bed. Maggie, what do you think?
I'm actually a very good couch sleeper, so I could go without my bed, but I think I would pick go without my couch.
Okay.
Because I think I could make my bed a day bed. I could have people come over and hang. Ooh, actually, you know what? I do hate that people would come over and sit on my bed all the time. No, chairs. Okay, no, I'm keeping my bed. Yeah. Pick couch. Yeah.
The couch would be the thing you get rid of.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say I probably tend to lean towards getting rid of the. Okay, if I were single, in a scenario where I were single, I would say get rid of the bed because I could sleep on the couch just fine, and it'd be comfortable. And to Topping's point, like you'd have so much more room. As a married person, it's good to have a bed. We wouldn't both want to sleep on the couch. That would be like uncomfortable and weird. So it's good. I like us having a bed.
And sex. Now that I'm remembering, definitely don't want to give away my bed.
Right. But I mean, you could do it on a couch. People do it on a couch all the time.
So, but only a couple of different ways.
It depends on it.
Only like 3 ways.
It depends on
none of which are probably particularly comfortable.
Yeah.
Right, but it depends on the couch. I happen to have a very comfortable couch. And,
Dustin's like, let me tell you about when I bang on my couch, and it's great.
Right, and we have like the ottoman part that sticks out. We have like, or whatever you want to call that, like the part that sticks out, which means you get more angles. Nice. it gives you more options. There's just like 3 sides.
I just need you to understand that now when I come over and sit on your couch, that's all I'm gonna think. And I'm gonna hear you saying, got an ottoman, it's got all these different angles. Like that's all I'm gonna think about. There's nothing wrong with the fact that I'm gonna think about that. I just need you to understand that.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm saying play it out and you'll see that like
I'm good. Okay.
Given that I am married and I want to have a bed and I want to have a couch, I say I would go without the shower head. Even though I'm wary of that commitment because that means you have to start planning 15 minutes beforehand to actually get the bathtub full. At least in this tub in my apartment, I've never taken a bath in it, but it's long, so that I can actually fit in it. Because that's my issue with most bathtubs is I can't just sit with my legs out because I'm 6'3" and they're not built for that. So it's always just this awkward, uncomfortable kind of situation.
Especially in New York City bathtubs, right? Yeah, they're always going to be Yeah.
The only problem with my bathtub now is that it's on a slant, so that if you're sitting with your back to where the sink is, which is the place you would logically sit, you'd always be sliding down a little bit of a hill. Now if you're taking a shower and you want to walk towards the water, the shower head, you're kind of climbing uphill. There's a noticeable elevation as you are walking. It's not a thing I realized until we had bought the apartment and moved into it. Next time you all come over,
I need to see this. I need to see this now. I'm so curious.
Yeah, it's a definite elevation.
I've never been in your bathroom and felt like I'm on a hill. That's so
No, not in the normal bathroom, but in the tub part of it. It's it's a noticeable incline. That's weird.
New York, freaking New York, man.
I'm gonna go with a shower head. I want to check in with chat because there's been a whole bunch of messages popping up in chat. Joy is saying that she could live on the couch. Julia saying couch as well. I've lived without a couch for 8 years. I think a good deal. You lived without a couch for 8 years? I need to know about why. That just seems like couches are wonderful. You should get one.
Couches are expensive. They were hard to I got a dead grandmother one, but otherwise it was hard to come by.
I think this is from Jeff. I think this is referring to Joy's musical album because any other interpretation of this I don't want to have in public. Wow. And Joy now is threatening that now there's a whole family thing that's happening. And Topping is showing support. There's a lot of stuff going on in chat. It's a fun place to be. I highly recommend you join it if you
why you should join us live. That's why you join us live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good news. Julia does have a couch now. I do now, but when I lived in my studio apartment, it did need to take up space. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Makes sense.
But I'm glad that you have a couch now. You're enjoying the wonders of what a couch can be. All right. So I feel like that chat has told us that couch is another one. So it seems like living without a couch is where it's at. I'm still going to go with showerhead because I'm the,
listen, sometimes when there's like a thing where you choose a different thing and I'm like, no, you are so wrong. I disagree. Yeah. This is one where I'm like, yeah, I could see that.
Away. Yeah.
I could deal.
So that brings us about to the end of our show.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maggie, for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me.
It's been super awesome. Where can people follow you? Where can people learn more about what is going on with you?
You can follow me at Magnadoodler on Instagram, also that on TikTok, but I don't really do much TikTok. But I have the show Man Up coming soon to Caveat on March 23rd. And
what is Man Up? What is Man Up? So people know.
Man Up is a news satire show where I am the host. I play a guy named Chip Johnson, who thinks that he is the ultimate aficionado on everything feminist, but of course he has some shortcomings, a lot of misunderstandings, and it's fun. We have a guest every single time that's different. So Jessica Stalker is on this one coming up, which is super fun.
Oh my gosh,
love.
Gotta be there.
And yeah, it's gonna be so much fun. It'll also be live streamed if people aren't available to come. You can see it on a live stream and buy a ticket to that. So that's cool too.
Awesome.
Yay!
And
I love that I love the offer to do a live stream. That's helpful.
It's really nice.
It's like,
I have a lot of people out of town, and like it's just like they can now see it. Like it's just the coolest thing.
Yeah. Or like it gets the weather's anyway. I'm digressing. Saturday, I will be in Fake Church. If you haven't heard of the show Fake Church, it is a show by comedian Jeff Grimwood, and I will be part of the choir. It is completely improvised. The whole thing is improvised, so I will be improvising the music part. I will be part of a choir improvising the music parts of it, and that's going to be at the Super Secret Arts Theater. I think it's at Super Secret Arts, yes, which is a new venue out in the Gowanus. Google it. This is a new development, so I am ill-prepared to give you all the details, but it's Saturday, and I will post more about where and when it's happening, but I know it's at Super Secret Arts on Saturday, and it's going to be super fun. It's the first time the show's been back since 2019, so pretty exciting.
Awesome. Cool. And for me, you can follow me on Instagram at DDATO. Again, I only post when I'm on vacation, so don't look for a whole lot of stuff. Because every once in a while when I see a show, something interesting, I'm not one of those people who post all that often. And you can always see me here every Monday. And my trivia show, How Should I Know, returns Thursday, 3/17 at 8 o'clock. We have already a couple of real good guests lined up, but I don't like to spoil things by telling people who the guests are, but it's going to be a good one. It's definitely going to be a good one. And look, we're already making progress on social. Topping said I'm now following Maggie on Instagram. So
thank you. That's so nice.
Paying dividends already. Thank you for being part of the show. And that about does it for us tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and we will be back next Monday with amazing guests. Thank you, Maggie, for being such an amazing guest tonight.
Yay, so great, Maggie.
Thank you for everybody in chat. It's been wonderful. We'll see you again next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.